Saint Isidore the Farmer, patron saint of peasants and day laborers. Saint Isidore was born into a very poor family, although his parents were very strong Catholics and had a lot of faith. He was born in Madrid, Spain in about 1070. To earn some money, he worked for a wealthy Madrid landowner, Juan de Vargas, on a farm in Madrid. Saint Isidore would go to Mass every day before work. He was always late for work because of this, and one day his boss checked in the morning to see if he was there, but instead he found an angel plowing for him. He is said to have performed miracles such as bringing back the landowner's deceased daughter and caused a fresh fountain of water to burst out of the dry earth to quench Juan de Vargas's thirst. Saint Isidore married Maria Terriba, a saint who is known as Santa Maria de la Cabeza in Spain. Together they had one son who died in his youth. Saint Isidore and Maria Terriba then vowed sexual abstinence and lived in separate houses. Saint Isidore loved the poor and loved the animals. He shared his food with beggars and starving animals. Saint Isidore died May 15, 1130. 40 years after his death, his body was transferred from the cemetery to the Church of St. Andrew. He was canonized by Gregory XV along with Saint Ignatius, Francis Xavier, Teresa, and Philip Neri on March 12, 1622. Saint Isidore is mainly known as the patron saint of peasants and day laborers. The cities of Madrid, Leon, Saragossa, and Seville also honor him as their patron. His feast is celebrated on May 15th in Madrid, and they decorate the streets in honor of him. His master, Juan de Vargas's house in Madrid, is now a museum. Saint Isidore is portrayed as a peasant holding a sickle and staff as an angel plows over him. He and his wife are examples for us today of a married couple that focused on God and their religion. Saint Isidore's actions in life is related to being a servant of the church because he was always giving. He was so generous to the poor and animals. He cared a lot about the less fortunate and spent his time donating to them. I feel like in today's society, everyone is guilty of excessive consumerism. We have way more than we need, and we aren't as thankful as we should be. I think that Christmas time especially is when we consume when we don't need to. We buy all these presents but don't stop and realize that we have enough. Sometimes we complain that we didn't get something we wanted when we should be thankful for what we already do have. Saint Isidore was also very dedicated to having a good relationship with God and being connected with his faith. He would show up to work late every day because he was praying to God. He went to Mass every day. Most of us have the effort to go every couple of weeks. He was a true Catholic, and we should all follow in his footsteps to be stronger with our religion. The church wants you to devote yourself to the church and to be one with God. Saint Isidore was a great example of this, and he didn't let anything stand in the way of him and God. I also find it amazing that him and his wife stayed abstinent and lived in different homes. That is so different from today, and it took a lot of faith in God to make a decision like that. Saint Isidore and Maria were very dedicated Catholics, and their main focus was their religion. Their goal was to please God and to live without sin. Together, they were known all over Spain for their religious acts, and that to me is amazing.